Gotta get that jam in this morning. Early morning, recording this. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another COOP'S news. This is for February 19th, 2026. Hopefully you guys are all doing fine here. Just got done watching AEW. I was, when I got home from work, had some dinner, then watched a little bit, and then I decided that I just was tired and went to bed. Decided to get some work done early this morning. So I just got done watching AEW Dynamite. We're going to get into the talk, and here I am recording for you guys because, I want to throw some content out there for you guys. Make sure if you guys enjoy it, push the subscribe button, push the thumbs up, and the bell notification whenever there's videos or whenever I go live, so you guys can join us. And we got a lot to talk about here. I got mostly a lot of wrestling talk here. We're going to go over AEW Dynamite that just happened here on February 18th. And then we're going to review NXT that happened on the 17th of February. So a couple wrestling shows to go over here today, and some other news I'm just going to throw out there. Also, we're going to go over the wrestling awards for the Wrestling Observer Awards. So I'll just give my quick thoughts about each winner, and just if I agree with it. If I don't, you guys can let me know if you guys agree with it too, kind of thing. But yeah, well, we might as well get started here. Most of the wrestling talk we'll leave at the very end of the episode, so I'll just cruise right through all the news that I just currently have been going through the last few days. Shout out to my boy THC. That was on YouTube. He requested I talk about food here because I went for the last episode I did. I talked about like over 20 minutes of just all food I've been creating for the last month. So when THC was listening to my recent show, he threw an idea of cocktail weenies. So if he said put grape jelly and cocktail weenies with barbecue sauce. Apparently it's freaking delicious. So I gotta admit, it's been a long time since I had those little cocktail weenies. I'm not sure, like, do you get them like in the refrigerator section, just like as a small little like cocktail weenies, or do they come in a can or something like that? I gotta know from you guys, because I mean, like, you could always just chop up a hot dog in half and make that like a cocktail weenie. But if I was to do something with cocktail weenies, what I was thinking about doing? Ever had one of those like Pillsbury croissants? And you wrap it comes in like a Pillsbury already made thing where you just wrap a piece of dough around a hot dog and then you just throw it in the oven. You have like a hot dog pastry kind of thing. It's pretty freaking delicious. It's been a long time since I've had one of those things. Man, I might have to look up. Yeah, all this came from like barbecue meatball talk. I'll be working on maybe some meatballs next week or something like that for a couple recipes that I want to try and do, but who knows? Maybe I'll look up some cocktail weenie recipes or something like that. So shout out to my boy THC. Also, let's do a Q&A. If you want to, if you guys see me on social media, look for my message saying, what questions would you want me to answer for you, kind of thing. You can find me on social media. Coop the Comedian, it's Instagram. Comedy Coop is on X. Coop the Comedian is on Blue Sky. I'm all over the place. So just different names, everything. Or you could just write underneath the comments on this YouTube video that will be posted here today about any questions that you want me to answer for you. I will be gladly to give you guys a shout out if you are listeners and you guys enjoy the show and everything like that. So greatly appreciated. So shout out to THC for the request for cocktail weenies and everything. Oh man. So I was looking up, I haven't made is a homemade poutine. So in Canada here, one of our famous dishes is poutine, which is basically gravy with fries and with cheese curds. It has to be cheese curds if it's like authentic poutine. So they're pretty expensive to get these. You'll know what a cheese curd is because they come in like a package, but when you eat the cheese curd, it squeaks. So you'll get like this squeaky cheese, like when you bite down on it, kind of like. That's a cheese curd, but it is so good when it comes to a poutine. And maybe that's something I want to try and do is like upgrade. This guy that I watched, Sam the Cooking Guy, he made a homemade like gravy recipe for poutine. Like you mix beef broth and chicken broth together and some flavors and everything like that. And then he adds like jalapeno bacon on top of these poutine. It's freaking delicious. So imagine like some French fries with gravy on top. Now, you can either, in Canada, you can either have poutine on top, which is classic, or you can have gravy on the side. I'm not sure. Let me know if you guys ever have fries with gravy before, but it's freaking delicious. Yeah, and then you'll have the cheese curds and then the gravy. Oh, man, I'm just so hungry just thinking about this, but I'm up early. So, yeah, maybe that's on my to-do list. Another thing I haven't really been working on is seafood ideas for recipes kind of thing. So I love some seafood out there. Some people don't like seafood. Some people can't eat seafood. Things I enjoy. I like shrimp. So I'm thinking about just doing a couple of like shrimp recipes kind of thing. Maybe some like barbecue shrimp or something like that. That's always sounds delicious. Let me know what kind of seafood you guys like. And then, man, I would love. It's been a while since I've had like a baked salmon or something like that. So I'll have to look up some delicious salmon recipes when it comes to fish. But crab meat, I love crab. Fresh crab. When I was a kid, my father would take our whole family to this hotel where it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. On Sundays only, they would have all-you-can-eat crab legs. So literally, there was always fresh crab legs, and they're freaking expensive to buy. So like, just maybe like 8 legs cost like $40 or something like that, and the meat is very tiny that you get out of these things, right? So it's probably just more money efficient to go to an all-you-can-eat buffet when it comes to like crab legs, and just get your money's worth that way, kind of thing. So that's a little tip for you guys out there. Don't. I'd rather spend the money on all-you-can-eat buffet where you can eat the crab legs for something really expensive. You can just eat as much as you can, kind of thing, compared to when you buy it at the store and you get very little for very expensive wise. It's been a while since I've had lobster. Oh, you know what? Oh man, definitely shrimp is on the idea. Ooh, how about some fried shrimp? Ooh, Cajun shrimp or something like that. Oh man, here I am talking about it. All right. So yeah, once I get into food talk, people, I just get thrown off so easily because I like talking about it. But yeah, no, let's move on to other topics. But yeah, let me throw. If you guys have any food ideas, let me know in the comments below or anywhere on social media. All right. So no game talk today, so nothing really going on with the gaming industry. Movies and TV, a couple topics I wanted to talk about. Spider Noir. It comes out May 27th on Amazon Prime. Now, this is, they just released a trailer not too long ago. It's with Nicolas Cage as basically the Spider Noir that's on Into the Spider-Verse, or, like the Sony animation thing. And it's the black and white version of like 1940s version of Spider-Man. Now, but since they had to call it he's not actually called Spider-Man. They call him the Spider, apparently in the comics. It's totally different from Spider-Man. So they call him the Spider in his universe, because it's all like 1940s old school, investigative kind of thing. It's pretty cool. The show looks great. Nicolas Cage looks like he is having a lot of fun in the show, and there's two versions you can watch the show. You can either watch it in black or white, or you can watch it in full color. So it's your option kind of thing. I'm just throwing that out there. Is May 27th. I am putting that on my calendar of definitely something to watch, people. That is going to be freaking exciting to watch. I look forward to that. Okay. And let's see here what I got here. I've got some Marvel news. Apparently, Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, says that he'll be playing a couple more times after Doomsday. So, does that mean that Thor survives? He does not die in the upcoming Doomsday movie with Marvel, with the comes the Avengers. Is very interesting from Chris Hemsworth. But basically, a lot of people are teasing is he's going to be from the comics Ruin King Thor is what he's going to be turning into. Because for a while now, the last movie he did was Thor, Love and Thunder, and people did not like that movie at all because it was way too over the top, comedic when it comes to the seriousness of a movie and the scenario of this butcher that's going around killing gods around the universe, kind of thing. And they just made Thor into like a very comedic person. So now they're trying to go in a more serious role, and that's where Ruin King Thor comes in. So in the comics, apparently he loses his eyes, and because he has to find the strength in order to like defeat his enemy. So he gets more powerful, becoming Ruin King Thor. Go look up on YouTube the storyline of Ruin King Thor. I'm sure there's a couple of YouTube channels out there that are probably showing off the. I know there's one guy named Comics who's playing that. He's like every comic out there. He'll break down for you, kind of thing. So yeah, you can look up the story that way, kind of thing. But yeah, it's but that's basically Chris Hemsworth spoiling himself, saying that he's returning for a couple more times after Doomsday. So who knows if he's gonna be if he dies or not. I mean, the whole purpose of the upcoming movie is just there's variants of everybody. There's a version of everybody as a different variant. So it could be literally. Everybody can probably die, but it could be variants kind of thing. So that makes sense. Okay, what else? That's all the movie and TV talk I got for you today. How about some sports talks? Boxing world, I didn't bring this up the other day, but I think I already mentioned Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano are going to be in an MMA fight. And now apparently there is talks about Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather. It was supposed to be the original plan was supposed to be Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, that's number 2, but apparently that didn't work out. There's no timetable set or anything like that. I think they're still trying to work things out, but that is some boxing news out there for you. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather against each other. So, all right. If you want to see two old guys going against each other, go ahead. But they'll probably bring in a lot of views because of the name or anything like that. So we'll keep you updated when we get more information about it when it comes to the fight. In Olympics news, all right. So when I looked up the standings today when it comes to the medals and everything, Norway was like twice as many medals ahead of like third place. I think second place is in Italy. I think USA is in third or fourth, one of the two kind of thing. Canada's down there, I think, in seventh or something like that. We've got a couple gold medals. With Norway, though, they had like 6 gold medals in cross-country skiing. So you can definitely tell which are the athletes that can just go the distance and just, cross-country ski everywhere. Norway, I didn't expect that one. But the news I wanted to bring about is with the Olympics is apparently the medals have been breaking very easily. So apparently people were jumping with their medals when they at the ceremonies and that when they were celebrating, and the medal falls off and it breaks. So apparently you should not jump with these medals when they're presented to you, because apparently they're so easily they can just break off the ribbon. Um, Come on. Really? Is that how cheap we're getting now with these medals? You can't even keep it together? Jesus. That's ridiculous. Yeah, so that's just some Olympic news stuff to follow. I think they're doing an investigation about it, kind of thing, because obviously that's just really disappointing. That just you work so hard, you get this medal, and it's just some cheap piece of crap that falls apart so easily after you after you place as one of the best athletes in the world. It's ridiculous. It's humiliating too. All right, NFL news. In the football world, the Seattle Seahawks announced today that they have put the team up for sale. It is expected to surpass the largest sale of a NFL team. The recent one was $6 billion, $6.05 billion for the Washington Commanders. Now, the original owner, I believe, passed away in like 2018 or something like that. And I believe his sister has been the chair, has been running the team ever since. And in the previous owner's will, it stated that at some point, the Seattle Seahawks were going to be sold, and all the proceeds will be going to like philanthropy or something like that. I've got the story here. I just want make sure I'm not. Super Bowl champions announced franchise. Okay, so. Oh God! Oops, that was a little loud. Definitely heard that on your part. Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks have formally announced the team is up for sale. The estate of Paul G. Allen today announces commenced a formal sale process for the Seattle Seahawks NFL franchise, consistent with Allen's directive to eventually sell his sports holdings and direct all estate proceeds to philanthropy, the Paul Allen estate said in a statement on Wednesday. So yeah, that's just the recent news about them going up for sale, and they're probably not going anywhere. Whoever's going to buy the team is obviously going to keep them. They just won the Super Bowl. If they freaking move the franchise, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah, we won a Super Bowl. Let's move away so they never win again. Oh my God, you gotta be the biggest prick in the world to do that. Not even the town that they would move to would be happy that you probably do that. They'd probably boo in the new town's like home stadium. They were like, we want to go back. Put us back. Okay, I'll move on. What else do I have? Was that all the sports news that I have for today? Yeah, I believe that's all the we'll just get right into the wrestling talk now. And for the rest of the episode, but we'll start off with some wrestling news. In WWE, Roxanne Perez, a fellow Judgment member, has surgery to remove a benign mass. So I think something was going on with something in her back that's been hurting her for a while. And that is why she hasn't been on TV lately. So I'm sure she just needs some time off. And she'll be back in a bit. I'm not sure if it's going to mess up WrestleMania plans for her. I'm not sure if there was any plans for her or anything like that. But, that's the thing is I've just noticed that when you have all these so far, like, it's always somebody that's when you're in a group or something like that in wrestling, and one person's down and just you gotta move on kind of thing. It could be a really good thing of having that many people in a group kind of thing, because, if something happens, change the plans, you gotta regroup and everything. But it's not like if you're just a regular tag team and, one of, like, I don't know. Let's say the Street Profits. Okay? there's been a while. It's been a lot of rumors saying Montez Ford is going to be pushed as a single star. Okay, and then what about Dawkins? So if as a tag team, there's only one person that would probably stick out more. Dawkins is kind of like left behind kind of thing, or yeah, he wouldn't get a. They wouldn't really do much with him. I mean, like yeah, so like if Montez Ford got hurt and they have Angelo Dawkins just as a single wrestler for a while, what do you really do with him until then? Right? I mean, like he could just get some losses for a while and just put people over, right? So that's what I kind of mean is when you're in like a group of like 5 or 6 or something like that, then there's things you can still move on with. You got people that you can work with. If somebody goes down in a tag team, you just shift them over to a different person, see how that works out, kind of thing. The best example I can say is the Vision, right? You got Braun Breaker that just went down, and they have to shuffle things, maybe, and just work out like storylines that fit with them, kind of thing. Yeah, that's Bronson Reed's probably going to get a push now because of the injury to Braun Breaker, and Austin Theory now he could do something with Logan Paul. He could be a tag team partner with Bronson Reed because they just Bronson Reed just pinned half the tag team champions last Monday. So they gotta do something with him, kind of thing. But that's what I mean. It's just more safer to be in a bigger group, and that way, if things happen with one person, they can just mix things up with another person in the group, and then see how the chemistry works instead of just being a regular tag team. One of your teammates go down and you kind of just flounder around. That's kind of the point of the story I'm trying to make here, kind of thing. Okay, so Roxanne Perez, it's gonna be out for a little bit, but I'm sure she'll be back soon. But just speedy recovery. Injuries happen, kind of thing. And all right, so obviously one of the biggest news is Chris Jericho's contract. So, why hasn't Chris Jericho arrived in WWE yet? A lot of the articles said his contract ended at the end of the year in 2015. Or, not 15, 2025. That's way too long. That was 20 years ago. Wow, he's been under contract that long, even though the company exists only for 7 years. Ridiculous. Okay, but yeah, so apparently what the storyline or the story is that the contract of Chris Jericho was frozen when he took time off to do things. I think he had to film a movie. I think he filmed a movie before he did this, but definitely a tour with Fozzy, obviously. So that's what that's what I think people were saying is when he took time off, Tony freezed his contract until it was time for him to come back, kind of thing. That way he still gets to keep Chris Jericho under contract for a longer period of time. And obviously the point of it is Tony wants to make sure that there is a little possibility that his athletes go over to WWE, right? So he wants to keep them under contract as long as possible under him before they decide, no, it's time for me to go to WWE. That's business, unfortunately. in this world, in this industry, it's a competition between the two. Those are the two top brands that want the best athletes, kind of thing. So that is the recent story that just came out, that his contract was recently frozen and he is still currently under AEW. We will know when he's not under AEW, when he's not on the roster page. So I'm sure everybody will just be refreshing every day and see when he's not on the roster page of AEW going forward. Okay. I think that's all the just basic. There was that Kevin Nash thing with Javon Evans. I don't want to get into that. Obviously, everybody's just pissed off at Kevin Nash for making a stupid comment. I just found it stupid too. So, yeah, that's all I'll say that subject is. I think he was just, I don't know. He said something stupid, and I don't know much about it. We'll put it that way. But I think Javon Evans responded to it, kind of thing. It's like, no, well, Javon Evans is doing his thing. It's fine. Kevin Nash said something stupid. That's about it. So, all right, let's get into this AEW Dynamite episode for February 18th, 2026. The show started with obviously the beginning promos. They did this a lot on Collision. Is when people just like the beginning of the episode, they'll do little cuts, promo cuts on each other for the opponents and everything. So it seems like they're starting to do that a lot now with AEW Dynamite. So it starts off with some promos from Mina, Shirakawa, Will Nightingale, Megan Payne, Swerve Strickland, Kenny Omega, and then Orange Cassidy was quickly talking with Renee about what happened with Roderick Strong. Orange Cassidy said, well, one person's down. That's the one thing about collaboration. We got a lot. In comes Toromiro Ishii. I'm not sure if I pronounced his first name properly. I just call him Ishii. Ishii. And he is returning, I believe, from a shoulder injury. So he is in action tonight with Orange Cassidy. All right, the first match, we had John Moxley come out for a title eliminator match. John Moxley versus Mark Davis. Davis wants revenge after John Moxley costed him the tag team titles. I must say, first of all, this intro music, I thought that this was just a theme song for like Davis and Doyle as a tag team. But this theme song, I don't know if they're trying to make like a Duckzilla, like a Godzilla alarm noise or something like that for Mark Davis's intro, but I absolutely hate this music and this stupid siren that goes off for a theme song. It is so annoying. It's probably one of the worst theme songs and the one I hate the most when it comes to like theme music out there with wrestlers. So please change your music is what I'm saying. It's annoying. The freaking siren is just annoying. All right. So during the match, Mark Davis tried using his fist and punching John Moxley on the side at the outside on a ring post, and he ended up busting up his knuckle. So they did the blood everywhere on his knuckle. John Moxley obviously was working on it. It was probably Moxley that showed Davis how to maybe do a cut there or something like that. So John Moxley, freaking lunatic. All right, so punched in the ring. Yeah, he punched the post. Mox was biting his hand. He got a "you sick fuck" chant from the fans. He bit him again later on, and they did the chant again, but not as loud for the second time. And then Moxley wins by submission with the Bulldog choke. Mark Davis and makes him tap out. And yeah, so good match. I can honestly say all these matches are good. That's the whole purpose of why AEW Dynamite has like some of the best wrestling on there every week. So it's rarely a bad match. Once in a few weeks you'll find like one bad match that you're not really a fan of, kind of thing. But it's rare usually that they have like a lot of bad stuff, really bad. Put it that way. All right, so and then we get a quick Hangman promo from Grand Slam on Andrade El Idolo. Saying don't kick me in the balls again, and then he's threatening to go for MJF when he gets back to America. We got another promo. FTR comes out with Stokely. They Stokely goes off about the Young Bucks and just saying that they're hypocrites. They were shaking. Last week. They were shaking the hands of Private Party, who just returned after a year, 14 months away. I don't know why they've been away for 14 months off of TV. That is ridiculously long. I don't know if they're hurt or not. I don't know. I have no idea the reason why they were gone that long. Yeah, and then so Stokely was saying that the Young Bucks are hypocrites because they were just recently shaking hands with them when last year they tried to get them fired, literally. And then Young Bucks came out, super kicked both FTR members in the face, and then Stokely was in a wheelchair, obviously. If you've been following his gimmick, apparently he just hurt his foot. He doesn't want to walk around anymore. Young Bucks end up super kicking him in the face. Now, my TV provider, or whatever, it's TSN that covers, I'm watching in Canada out here. So a company out here that carries the AEW Dynamite is called TSN. I don't know. This might have been the first hiccup that I've seen from this company since I've been watching so far, since I've bought this like last October, since I've been watching on this cable service. Well, it's a thing called TELUS TV Plus. It's like a streaming. Just imagine your old cable boxes, right, where you got the guide and everything. TELUS TV is something similar where they have like a bunch of channels, and I got TSN for AEW Dynamite in mine. For some reason, it did not. It did a skip when the Young Bucks were trying to super kick Stokely in the face in the wheelchair. So just imagine the Young Bucks are looking at Stokely, and all of a sudden it skipped ahead, and Stokely was on the ground already. And the Young Bucks. So I'm not sure. That might have been a hiccup by the TSN company, but that's on my replay now. Every time I'm going to be watching it, it just skips the super kick of Stokely getting hit in the face. Young Bucks take a microphone and says they challenge the FTR for the titles at AEW Revolution. I'm sure they'll make that official. And that was that segment. We get a promo from Brody King and Bandito after AEW Grand Slam. During the segment, right away, as soon as Brody King popped on the TV, the crowd just starts chanting, "Fuck Ice." It's hard to hear what Brody was even saying because the crowd was so loud chanting it. So I'm not sure if this is going to be an issue going forward, but it seems like every time Brody King's going to be on TV now, the crowd's just going to get louder and they're going to chant anti-Ice chants. It's going to be ridiculous. All right. I'm not sure if we'll see if Warner Brothers does anything about it, but as far as I know, they've already said the statement about it, saying that they're not responsible for Brody King or anything he says. So, in the middle, Brody King vows to get back to the world title hunt. That's basically what the promo was. Now we got a fatal four-way match for the TBS Championship. Will Nightingale, the champion, versus Megan Bayne versus Maria Shafir versus Mia Shirakawa. It's mostly a tag match with Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir, like tag teaming them the entire match. And then at some point they went against each other on the floor. Megan Bayne put Maria Shafir through the timekeeper's table. It didn't break, so that would have hurt. I'm not sure if it was planned to not break or not. And then I believe what happened was while they were on the outside, Amina Shirakawa and Will Nightingale were in the ring. Mia was trying to put the figure 4 leg lock on Willow, and Willow surprised her with a quick roll-up pin for the 3 count. So Mina got cocky, and it cost her the match and the title. They shook hands after. Megan Bain looked super angry, said, I didn't get pinned, so I'm still going for the title. Marina was on the outside. She was mad. that was that. MJF and Hangman Page have a little face-off against each other. It basically starts off with MJF saying that how much he hates Hangman Page. These were really good promos tonight by both these guys, and basically MJF was saying that Hangman, you think you're taking your shot, but he's out of bullets. It's you got some good phrases in there, kind of thing. Hangman comes back saying that, you know what, the reason you think you hate me, but the truth is I hate you even more. It's because I've never met a person more like me. So he says it was an interesting promo by Hangman. So he was just cutting him down about who he is, kind of thing. And then here's the oddest thing. All right. Hangman decides that this just can't be an ordinary match. This has to end between each other. How much the hatred for each other, and it can't be just a regular wrestling match. So he wants Max or MJF to pick the stipulation for the match. MJF says, why would I pick a stipulation and when it's supposed to be just a regular wrestling match? And then he was about to walk away, and Hangman says, if you give me this kind of match, or give me a match with a stipulation, I will never, and if I lose, I will never wrestle for the world title ever again. They're pulling a Cody Rhodes, where Hangman will never wrestle for the title again. MJF is intrigued by this, saying that you have yourself a deal, cowboy. But now, and then MJF gets to pick the stipulation of the match, but Hangman Page basically says, you know what I want? I want a Texas death match. So MJF, and then Hangman Page goes off, and then he's kind of like second guessing himself, kind of things like, oh man, what have I done? So the new stipulation for the world title match, if Hangman loses, he can no longer challenge for the world title. Is that a good or bad thing going forward? Not sure. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with the stipulation or not. Does it bring more of an audience to the match? Lately we've already been seeing a lot of like retirement matches, obviously with AJ Styles. Like, this is my last match. If I can't beat Gunther, so he retired. What now? We're gonna get if I don't win, I can't challenge for the title anymore. Oh man, it's gonna be if Hangman Page loses, it's gonna be really bad for their business, having like a top guy not being able to fight for a title anymore. I must say though, Hangman Page gets opportunity after opportunity after opportunity compared to everybody else. They really need to elevate people, and you've just got these guys that are always like in the main picture every time, like MJF, Adam Page, Swerve Strickland, and Kenny Omega. Samoa Joe was in the mix for a while. It was like just to repeat the same guys at the very top for a while. You got to mix it up. So, all right, going on. Death Riders promo. They call on Don Callis' family and they challenge them to a match on Collision. Mox says he's not done with Takeshita, so he challenges Takeshita to a Continental title match with no time limit. Obviously, the last match was a 20-minute time limit, and Australia Grand Slam. So they're going to do no time limit this time. So there must be a winner. We'll see what they do with the title. That could go either way, in my opinion. It can stay with Moxley or it can go on to Takeshita. It's one of the two. Either way. All right, then we got a tag match. Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii versus Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. Ishii looks like during the match that he hurt his hamstring. It was really showing for even until the end of the match. I don't know what happened. Just like I can't remember what happened with his move or if while he was running or something. But he went down, man. And Ishii's a tough dude. So for him to be injured like that for the ending of the match, he was barely able to stand. So hopefully Ishii's all right. Hopefully we get an update at some point. We'll keep an eye on the update for an injury on Ishii. During the match, Darby Allin came out and attacked Gabe Kidd when they were brawling in the audience, and then Gabe Kidd and Darby Allin just went away from the match. Ishii in pain while he was freaking on one leg, basically, gets a pin on Connors, and he also had a busted nose. So Ishii torn. Bryan Danielson on commentary said that Ishii possibly torn his hamstring. That would really suck if this is a long-term injury, because on your first match that you come back after a shoulder injury, you end up tearing your hamstring and you have to go back on the injury bench again. That is really sad. For Ishii. He's just banged up, man. And during the match, if he just tore his hamstring and he had a busted nose in the same match, that poor dude, man, that is one tough mother effer. And, all the best if hopefully he's okay. We'll keep an eye on the injury list to see how he does, kind of thing. It's too bad. He's always been one of my favorite wrestlers. He has amazing match after amazing match. And it's just too bad he never got the World Heavyweight Championship when he was in New Japan. All right. Then we get Don Callis' family. As they do they're in the back. They do a promo. They're beating up some random people, and Don Callis is answering Mox's challenge for Takeshita. He says that Takeshita is still celebrating with Kyle Fletcher in Australia. So on behalf of him, he accepts the challenge for Takeshita. And then Don Callis also mentions that he wants the CMLL title from Claudio Castagnoli. So I wonder who he can go against. That probably is something that's El Clone. That makes sense. He's a luchador. And then you got Hechicero. He can go against Claudio as well. That'd be a fun match. So you got those two guys, and they're from CMLL, I think. So that would be interesting to see what they do. Andrade was there as well, and he cuts a promo saying that he wants the world title. The Don Callis family was so quiet when Andrade was speaking, because most of the time they were just beating up people in the back while everybody was talking. And when Andrade talked, Okada was there too, and he said he was making fun of Takeshita as well. So, but I just found it funny that just like when Andrade spoke, it was like dead silence. Okay, and then we got another promo when we come back from a commercial break. Hook is recruiting for the Ops because Samoa Joe is injured. Hook is going to be the new leader while Joe is recovering. Shibata is recruiting internationally. That's why he wasn't on the show tonight. While Hook is going to be recruiting domestically. So they interesting. They're recruiting, but didn't a while ago they just had a giant bunch of dojo people? Don't they have the Ops dojo? I mean, when Samoa Joe was champion, they had all these freaking dojo guys around him. What happened there? Is that just like, wasn't there like a bunch of dojo people that they could just like, all right, maybe you can come up? But that is maybe none of them are worth recruiting. Maybe they're so bad that Hook just fired them all, kind of thing, which I'm hoping that they did, because I have no idea where that ops dojo even came from, kind of thing. I must have missed the episode of Collision. It really sucks because in Canada I don't get AEW Collision on Saturdays, unless I order like USA Network in Canada, but I don't feel like paying for another network. So, all right. Let's move on. We're almost at the end here, guys. After Hook does his promo, we got the debut of the Brawling Birds, which is Alex Windsor, and Jamie Hayter. Those two are combining themselves with their talent to make a tag team. They basically were in it's supposed to be a squash match. One of the wrestlers' her name was Viva Van. She's been on AEW for quite a bit now, as just for squash matches and everything. But it seems like AEW likes her when they bring her on to get some, just put people over, kind of thing. Basically it was just them trying to show off, trying to do some new moves with each other, kind of thing. And yeah, it was a pretty one-sided thing. I think they just let the girls, the other side, have a couple times where they like got a couple shots and everything like that. I'm glad. Hopefully it wasn't like a 50-50 booking. Well, you got this brand new team, and like they could barely beat a team that's not on the roster. that's not a good look for a team debut, kind of thing. But they won. The finisher that they have is with Jamie Hayter's clothesline. They have Alex Windsor just basically lift the person up, and it's just and then Jamie Hayter has to jump in order to do a clothesline now. That's their finisher. You might as well just go to the top rope and just do a clothesline for a doomsday device. That's basically what it is. It's just a ground doomsday device that they did. Or I think Alex Windsor also does like powers, like a spine buster power. Yeah, I think it's a spine buster kind of thing when they do the lariat. I don't know. I just found it to be for a lame finisher a little bit. I think it needs a little bit more oomph for a finisher, in my opinion. Oomph, right? Gotta get that oomph there. We got another promo. Renee is backstage doing an interview with Chris Statlander and the returning Thunder Rosa from injury. Chris Statlander says she wants Tekla still, obviously to get back her title. And then Thunder Rosa saying that she's happy. She's going after Tekla first, coming back from injury. So then Chris Statlander says, word of advice, be careful around Tekla. Obviously, because she might have her friends. But yeah, it's been like, 7 months since Thunder Rosa's been on TV. So, welcome back. It's good for recovery. Then we got Kevin Knight versus the Beast Mortos. That was a fun match. Kevin, I found it funny that Kevin Knight dropped his. He's got his sunglasses that he wears when he goes to the ring. But right away at the beginning, at the ramp there, he dropped his glasses, and he kept it cool. He was like, whatever. It fell off of me, kind of thing. So he just leaves them on the ground. kept doing his thing. Good match. Now this is hilarious. I think this is the first time I've heard the crowd chant, "We want lawyer," because recently the Beast Mortos, I think just to finish his college degree or something like that, or master's degree for being a lawyer. He actually is a real lawyer, and I think he's right now the current boyfriend of Mercedes Mornay. So the crowd was chanting, "We want lawyer." Are we gonna get a lawyer version of the Beast Morto? That would be ridiculous. Night one with just he does like this like spinning frog splash from the top rope. It looks like for the win. They just elevate Knight, getting him a win, kind of thing. Then we have a quick Will Ospreay video of just them hyping up Will Ospreay. Don't know when he was returning. It'll probably be a little bit. I'm not sure when he's coming back. That's something to keep an eye on too. The Demand doing a promo. The Demand are doing a promo, and they challenge Jet Set Rodeo on Collision for their trios titles. And then they tried going to their locker room, and there was a knife on their door, on their sign that says the Demand. You know, their locker room, I guess. So obviously, the only person that's been like carrying a knife around everywhere he goes is Jack Perry. So obviously, Jack Perry is put a knife on their door, saying that he's not done with the Demand yet. Because obviously they're still mad that the Demand took out his tag team partner with a leg injury or something like that. So he's not done with them. And then let's see here. Oh yeah, I just realized that better not have been like a hole in the door or something like that. Because wouldn't that be damaging the stadium? Is putting a giant knife in the door? That just came to mind for me. So I don't know, if maybe Jack Perry might have to pay a fine for damaging the door with the knife. Then we got the main event, which was Kenny Omega versus Swerve Strickland. Literally, this should be a pay-per-view match because, man, this is awesome. Now, this is the second time that I'm talking about that something went wrong with my network today. For some reason, it usually records the entire show, but it did not record the overrun for some reason this week. I usually get to watch all the rest of the overrun while watching live TV kind of thing, but apparently I couldn't watch it this week, so I had to watch the rest of the match on YouTube, and so yeah, I don't know if it was like TSN that screwed up out here in Canada. Let me know if you guys got the same thing where the overrun did not record. Because I think you got some problems that happen with like on YouTube or something like that. All right. Surprise thing was Swerve Strickland got the pinfall on Kenny Omega. Now, here was the surprise is after the match, Swerve Strickland started attacking Kenny Omega. The crowd started booing. So it looks like Swerve Strickland has turned heel. Even Prince Nana was confused why he was attacking Kenny Omega. Swerve took his chain off of Prince Nana's neck, and instead he started choking Kenny Omega with it, threw him over the rope. So it looks like he was hanging him there. And then Swerve Strickland puts Kenny Omega through a table, and is very proud about what he did. So he got the win over Kenny Omega, and they just did an injury angle with Kenny Omega to write him off TV for a little bit. And the reason why is apparently he's got schedule conflicts coming up. I think a while ago. I'm not sure when this is happening, but I don't know. Man, it has something to do with Kenny Omega entering a Capcom tournament, Street Fighter tournament or something like that, where the winner gets like a bunch of money or something. I don't know if that's what's coming up, but apparently from what I believe what Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer said, that it looks like scheduling conflicts coming up, and that's why they did this angle. So was it the right decision of Swerve Strickland going heel? Is he going to be liked as much now? Maybe that explains why the new music, because it was all along he was going to go heel. So, but that was AEW. Another great show by AEW. I love it. And then, so that's mostly all my thoughts about that episode. That was fine. Watched it. It was enjoyable, and I'll probably watch it again later on. And then we got to the Wrestling Observer's voted worst wrestling show of the year in 2025. We have NXT that we can quickly talk about here before we end the show. This is NXT from, I believe, it was on February 17th, 2026. We start off NXT for the show with Lola Vice versus Kalani Jordan, where they started off right away by brawling, and basically it was basically Kalani Jordan just working on Lola Vice's hand most of the time. And she ended up making Lola Vice tap out because of the damage to the wrist that she's been doing recently in the last few weeks. So that might be a new finisher or submission finisher for Kalani Jordan. Maybe that's the reason why for the angle, to try and give her a nice submission. Because I've never seen Kalani Jordan do that before for a submission. So maybe they're just trying to add more to add another moveset to her for a finisher kind of thing. Maybe they're just not happy with the spring-legged movesaw as a finisher. I'm not sure. Is that her finisher? I'm not sure what hers is. So so Lola Vice tapped out to Kalani Jordan. Next we had a promo from Tony D'Angelo saying that he's going to take everything from Dark State because they took everything from him. Still doesn't make sense to me. I mean, they attacked his family, and then his family kind of just like broke apart themselves. I don't understand. So it was Stacks that turned, and then who's the other guy? Who's the third guy that was in the group? Have we seen him since? I can't even remember that guy's name. And then I can't remember the girl that was in the group either. Wow. I don't think anything. I don't think Dark State ruined it. I think the family just fell apart themselves. So I just don't get this angle. But after Tony and D'Angelo saying they're going to take everything from Dark State, they fade over to Dark State where they were watching Tony on the TV. And they're Dion Legs is going to take Cutler James, the butt boy, to the ring. It's not like he doesn't do any butt jokes anymore, kind of thing. Ricky Saints, they cut to him in the parking lot where he is attacked by Joe Henry. It's a retaliation, I think, for last week when Ricky attacked him. Then we cut to Shiloh Hill being interviewed in the locker room, and he's just talking about how excited he is for his title match against Ethan Page, saying that he's been trying to study him, and he's been trying to chase chickens around for this competition. In walked Hank and Tank. They're just hyping him up, and they're saying that then Shiloh Hill walks away, and Tank said, "Oh, that guy's weird, but like a good weird kind of thing." So they're getting ready for their fatal 4-way tag match coming up. So that was that. Joe Henry comes to the ring in a very serious mood. He quickly just comes in the ring, calls out Ricky Saints. Ricky Saints shows up on top of the stage that everybody appears. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Lola Vice. During her match, she broke the NXT platform again. Seems like every week that thing is always breaking. So she hit her. She tried doing a spinning fist on Kalani Jordan and missed, and hit her hand through the NXT wall or podium wall or something. So yeah, Ricky Saints is on top of the podium, saying that Joe Henry is a really good marketer. So why don't we market an upcoming match for March 7th? I can't remember the name of the events that's coming up. March 7th, but for the NXT title, Joe Henry accepts. And so we have a title match coming up for the next... I can't remember the name of the event coming up. Either way, the next title match is all set. Okay, what do we got here? Then we go back to the backstage of the Culling, Izzy Dane is looking at the previous promo from Tatum Paxley, which was really good. Really cool effects and everything like that. Izzy Dane saying that Tatum Paxley still won't change because I don't know, she'll never change or something like that. And then Spears and Vance are just saying to each other, it's time to get the tag team titles. They're in hot demand right now, so they'll be prepared. And then we get Tony D'Angelo versus Dark State. Dark State's Cutler James. Quick match. Tony D'Angelo coming back after a 7-month absent. And I'm not sure, is this the first singles match Cutler James has ever had? This might be. They're always in tag matches, so this could be the very first singles match he's ever had. And yeah, it was pretty one-sided. Spine buster from Tony for the win. Dion Lennox attacks Tony after the match, but Tony holds on his own, and they both walk away. Or Dark State walks away. Then we go to Ethan Page is in the locker room, and Miles Bourne walks in and says, well, just talk to Ethan Page. Page says, I already know what's going to happen. You're not getting a title match for me. And Miles Bourne basically says, there's no way of making you? All right, well then, we'll see about that. And then in comes Ricky Saints going past him. And by the way, Ethan Page has been talking to Vanity Project the entire time while the promo was going on previously. And Ricky Saints comes in, and after March 7th, all 5 of them are all going to be champions. So I don't know if it's like a new group they're forming. That means they got 2 groups that are like forming now. 2 heel groups are forming on NXT. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. Then we get a number 1 contenders match for the NXT Tag Team titles, Fatal 4-Way. We got the Vanity Project versus Hank and Tank versus OTM versus the Culling. OTM is super over with the crowd. Even the intros, the Culling comes out and they're still chanting OTM. During the beginning of the match, fans are chanting OTM. These guys are super over. During the match, brawling everywhere kind of thing. Obviously, Vanity Project does some sneaky stick with the Evolve champion and getting involved kind of thing in the match, and ends with Brad Baylor. He gets like, Spears first gets knocked out from somebody, so Spears is laying on the ground in the ring. Brad Baylor is dazed from taking a hit from something, and then I believe the Evolve champion pushes Brad Baylor onto Spears for a pinfall victory. So Vanity Project ends up with the number 1 contenders against Dark State for the tag team titles. Dark State versus Vanity Project. I am not excited for this at all. Why? Why? That's ridiculous. I think that's a terrible match, but we'll never know. We'll find out. Then we cut to a video package with Keanu Carver. Keanu's talking about his background when it comes to playing college football. And then he would just talk back to his coach. So he quit the team, and because he says nobody control him, and NXT can't control him. I mean, why do we have a loose cannon in NXT if nobody can control him, and he's just going it's going to be rude and decimate everything. So, obviously, they're trying to make him look like the next, like, big, like, I don't know. What are they doing with Jasper Troy, man? Like, he's like barely on TV now. I thought they were trying to make Jasper Troy the next big man, but now they got Keanu Carver as the next crazy big man. They're looking for the next Obafemi, is what they're trying to do. Then we get a promo with Robert Stone. He's talking to Joe Henry. Henry's wants to fight Ricky Saints. Robert Stone says, you can't do that. I've already kicked Ricky Saints out of the building, and since you attacked him earlier, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the building as well. So he kicks them out. So Ruka goes past Robert Stone, trying to ask him where's Saria. Literally, Zarya is right, like, like right in front of them, and Robert Stone says, "I don't know where she is." Oh my god! So Ruka goes over to Zarya. Zarya says that they're done with the friendship. She's done being used, and take your title match and go to hell. And then walks off, and it's all sad. It's all sad. Then we go to Fatal Influence as a promo inside the ring. Jason Jane is cutting a promo on Sol Ruka, saying that she's actually looking forward to this match because she's always being overlooked compared to Sol. And then she tries running down their friendship with Zarya. Sol comes out and says, "You say all you want about me, but can't talk anything about my friendship with Zarya." Then they all three Fatal Influence attack her, and Zarya comes out, and it looks like she's asking Fatal Influence to lift her up so she can spear him. And instead, Zarya goes for Fatal Influence and attacks all three of them for the save. She lifts up Sol Ruka with her hand, and they hug it out. And apparently, the team is not broken up again. I hate this storyline. You can tell by the exhaustion. And it's just like, really, this has been going on forever with this group. End it already. It's Sol Ruka has been getting all these chances on the main card and everything. Oh my god! So just end it already. It's just past its prime. We'll put it that way. Next, we got the Speed Tournament Finals between Elio Lafleur, the French luchador, versus Eli Knight. 3 minutes, good match, but ends in a tie. Robert Stone comes out and announces that he needs, in this situation, Jackson Troy would retain, but I'm going to do something different and make it a triple threat speed match for the championship with a 7-minute time limit because there's 3 opponents. Usually it would be a 5 minutes for a title match between a 1-on-1, but since it's a triple threat, they add an extra 2 minutes to make it 7 minutes. So they have 7 minutes to have a quick match where Jasper Troy is just probably going to beat them up most of the time and put them in holds. That's probably why they added more time, is so more time for Jasper Troy to do holds during a speed match. That's what's going to take up the time. They need time to breathe and holds. Okay, and then we go backstage. Shiloh, Miles goes past Shiloh Hill, and Shiloh says, "I need you to stay out of this match, Miles, for tonight." And Miles basically says, "Or what?" And then they get a little like mouthing off to each other kind of thing, and Shiloh Hill heads off. Then we go to Uriah Connors, the brother of David Finlay, which, I mean, why can't this guy just have the last name Finlay if he's like related to their family and everything? So I don't know if it was a stepbrother of him or something, but either way, I think he's the brother of David Finlay, which he is a free agent, by the way. David Finlay, I forgot to bring that up in the news. I think New Japan is really trying to re-sign him back. They're really pushing on it, but who knows if David Finlay is going to go to WWE or AEW, one of the two. I've heard mostly WWE he should go to, but family's there, right? So goes in the footsteps. Elijah Connors is backstage. He's trying to recruit Charlie Dempsey to the new group, The Birthright, which they recently trademarked for WWE. The Birthright is the new name of this group. Obviously, because frickin' Lexus King just keeps saying the same thing over and over. It's our birthright. So, go figure that's the group name. Oh, I hear a motorcycle in the back. Sorry. Let's see. And then basically, Alexis King says Rise O'Connor is going to have a match against his former teammate, Cale Dixon. So they're going to have a one-on-one match, I think, next week. Robert Stone is backstage in his office with I freaking don't know this girl's name. I keep forgetting it, but the girl that won the current women's speed champion. He's talking to her, and in comes Blake Monroe, and then Robert Stone announces that Blake Monroe is in the speed tournament against Thea Hale next week. So that's happening for next week. That makes sense. And then they go backstage for another promo with Dark State. They're all mad because they're all just doing they're just tearing down their opponents as a promo kind of thing. And they said nobody's safe, so they're all mad. We'll put it that way. Go back to another promo with Zarya and Soul backstage together, and they're hugging. Zarya is trying to apologize to Soul, and Soul's accepting the apology. Miles is walking by. Oh, he's like, I know what I'm doing. And then that's that. Then we go to the main event. NXT North American Championship, Shiloh Hill versus Ethan Page. Basically, the match ends with Vanity Project came out. They just did their thing where they are interrupting the match and be themselves. Ethan Page, near the end of the match, asks Vanity Project to tear up the floor ring or the floor mats. So it's just the bare floor that you see. Then Ethan Page brings Shiloh Hill to the outside, does a twisted grin on the floor with Shiloh Hill, and then brings him into the ring, does another one, and retains the NXT Championship. Then all four of them, Vanity Project and Ethan Page, started trying to beat up Shiloh Hill a little bit more after the match. Miles Bourne comes out for the save. They take out... both him and Shiloh Hill take out Vanity Project to the outside. Miles Bourne starts beating up Ethan Page inside the ring, demanding a title shot. Shiloh Hill slides a chair over to Miles Bourne, and he puts the chair on the ankle of Ethan Page. And it looks like it's about to hurt his ankle with the chair. And then Ethan Page gives up saying, I'll give you a match next week for the title. And then Miles Bourne just walks away. He's like, I'm not gonna do it. Ethan starts laughing. He's like, I knew you were never gonna do it. Miles Bourne runs back and then uses the chair on his ankles. So Ethan Page has a weak ankle going into their title match next week. And that's how the show ends. It was an NXT show. We'll put it that way. AEW Dynamite, way better of a show if you guys want to see the comparison of the two. So I believe that is it for this episode today. I greatly appreciate everybody that's been here listening. And we'll talk to you soon. Look for the notification and look for me on social media for the next episode. It could be tomorrow. It could be the day after. But cheers, everybody. Have yourself a great day.